Good things come in fours. Like ukulele strings. Boy band members. And PayPal Pay in 4. No fees, no interest, no impact on your credit score. Just the flexibility to pay the way that works for you. Strum it, hum it, pay it in 4. Download the PayPal app to get started. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payin4. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're joined by David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz. David, good morning.
Good morning, David James, Patrick Kinahan. We're talking, you put the two of them together on top of each other, you would have a 7'6" Victor Wembanyama at level of excellence. That wasn't as good today, sorry. That wasn't good.
A little sillier, it was fun.
Yeah. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Who's your top three right now? What's your top three?
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah, I know that, but Buddha says not to do that, so don't do that, DK. It's bad. Who's your top three? What's your ranking? You're right now, your draft board. Patrick Kinahan, AJ Dybantsa, Darryn Peterson, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson. What's your top three? Darius Acuff, Mikal Brown. What's your?
I think it's boring. It's what most people would put. And you go top three, you're not necessarily going based on exclusively talent. And there's something that I want to get to you with you about that I heard you speak about. So yeah, I would go Dybantsa, Peterson, Boozer.
So it's interesting. DJ, what would you do?
Probably that same list, but with the caveat that how do we really know? They get a bunch of medical info on Peterson, and we don't get any of that. And the thought that you could draft somebody who plays sporadically and is in and out and has problems with cramping. The teams I get the info and get to resolve that issue. The rest of us just sit out here and wonder what was going on.
The more and more I hear, the less that seems to be a concern, by the way.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that's going away a little bit.
It does. It seems like it's going away. I don't know why. I assume there's something in the medical info that's making that go away, but I don't know what it is.
Right. I would say this. So I just asked my kind of diehard core listener group, who we have on a private text message thing, and they voted 17 votes for Darryn Peterson, 6 for AJ Dybantsa. So I'm not sure I think Jazz fans are. I don't think that list that PK gave is what everyone has. And it's not my top three right now. My top three right now is Darryn Peterson, Cam Boozer, AJ Dybantsa. But I'm saying, like, if I have 100 little, chips to hand out, I think it's 36, 33, 30 right now. I think this is incredibly we had this a little bit with Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, and Paulo Banchero. We had it in Hakeem Olajuwon, Sam Bowie, Michael Jordan. We have not had a lot of drafts where these three, where we have this three level of kind of inconclusive who's the number one pick.
So let's go with the consensus, and then if the question becomes, okay, the consensus is wrong, where would you expect a surprise? The biggest decision I think that would flip from the consensus would be Peterson and Dybantsa. The next thing I would anticipate, if the consensus is wrong and there's a flip, would be Wilson passing Boozer. What do you think about that?
I think it would be Boozer passing Dybantsa.
Dybantsa, okay.
So
wait, is that one or two? Is that your first one? That's your second one. You think the first one is Peterson passing Dybantsa, but you think the second one is Boozer passing Dybantsa?
Yeah,
okay.
But suddenly the draft was Peterson, Boozer, Dybantsa.
Okay.
So let me ask you guys this. Give me this is where I went today. This is why I suddenly I think both Boozer and Dybantsa to be successful. I mean, overthink, we're at that stage, right? But it's great. I love it. This is so fun. Both Boozer and Dybantsa to be successful, I think, have to have the ball in their hands over 50% of the possessions they play. So I don't think that's the case for Peterson. I do think that both Dybantsa and Boozer need the ball in their hands a lot to be the maximum version of what they are.
Do they have to have the ball? Do they have to have the ball in their hands immediately? Or you were a big fan a couple of years ago of running a pick and roll on one side into a pick and roll on the other. Would they be good in that situation?
Let's go with that. They're the key initiator to the possession. How's that?
Okay. They start the offense.
Fair?
Yeah. So you're saying they have to start the offense 50% of the time?
Yeah. I'm actually more comfortable with Boozer doing that than Dybantsa.
Boozer's super skilled on the ball. He's just getting marked down because he doesn't have elite athleticism. He's super skilled with the ball in his hands. Very impressive.
I'm viewing Boozer right now as Cade. Everyone wants to do Kevin Love, right? That's my comp on Boozer right now. Cade Cunningham.
Yeah,
or let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that a little bit. Not that he's that necessarily my comp. That might not be the right way to say it. Let me phrase it a little differently. He is the model by which I think he's going to be most successful in the league is that he's Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, because Cade Cunningham's going to be more athletic, right?
I don't know.
Really? Okay.
Cade Cunningham, like the book on Cade Cunningham coming into the draft was that he wasn't athletic enough. And if you go back and look at Cade Cunningham,
he is athletic enough.
Early in his career, he really, really struggled at the rim. And the change that happened for Cade Cunningham that's made Cade Cunningham so good is that he was able to find a way to get to the rim and to be able to make plays at a much higher level than he did early in his career. I'll try to pull up the numbers while we're talking. But that was the book on Cunningham. He was the number one pick. He was this incredibly effective player. Go compare their college numbers. They're almost the same. And, if you just change your mindset and decide that Boozer – so I go back to I watched the final 5 minutes of every single close game that Duke played. In 11 of the final 14 late game possessions of the season, John Schreier had Cameron Boozer initiate the offense. So I think you have to look at Boozer in that realm. I don't, and then you have to decide you're all right with it, right? I'm not sure that I actually totally love the fact that Cameron Boozer is initiating offense every single time, most of the time. You got to figure out if you're all right with that.
Well, this sounds like a conversation.
But I think AJ Dybantsa is initiating your offense every single time, too.
This sounds like a conversation we had with Brunson in Dallas. Well, he's a small guy. Why would you have him initiate the offense when you have Luka Doncic over here? But the Knicks take him. They put the ball in his hands a lot. Now, depending on the coach and the composition of the team, not everybody the exact same amount, but he's probably taking twice as many shots as everybody else on the team. So he's got the ball a lot, and it seems to be working for them. And it's just 3 straight 50-win seasons, 2 straight trips to the conference final, and now they got an NBA Finals appearance and maybe a title. We'll see how it plays out. So could it be underestimating somebody here the same way they underestimated Brunson, even after he'd been in the league for 4 years?
And what was it that made people not believe in Brunson?
Probably his
why did
height.
Brunson go first? He's first pick in the second round, right?
Maybe the second or third, but maybe, very early second round. There were 5 NBA draft picks on that team, 4 in that draft and 1 in the next one. They had a ton of talent, but maybe he didn't get credit for the winning because they had so many good players.
Yeah, and he was supposedly not athletic enough.
Right. Yeah, smaller and not athletic enough. But even after he'd been in the NBA, there were doubts, even when he got away from Villanova and he established himself in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us saw this coming, right? Like, I think that's fair. It makes a little more sense that, that series that the Jazz lost, it felt so terrible when Luka was hurt, makes a little more sense right now. Launching kicked the crap out of us. No, I have just had to change how I think of Boozer. And so Peterson, to me, just assimilates into any roster much easier. He can play with the ball, without the ball. He's active off the ball. He's a great shooter. So if the ball's not in his hands, it's fine. Somebody else can be initiating the offense, and then you're swinging it to Peterson, and he's attacking on the backside as an open jump shooter that's got to be closed out on. You don't have to close out on AJ yet. I'm not sure you totally have to close out on Cameron Boozer yet. Like, that three takes a long time to get off still. So that's why I think Cameron Boozer and AJ both have to have the ball in their hands. And I think that's going to be just an interesting kind of, as time goes on, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's fascinating. And we've all watched too much of this one too.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Good things come in fours. Like ukulele strings. Boy band members. And PayPal Pay in 4. No fees, no interest, no impact on your credit score. Just the flexibility to pay the way that works for you. Strum it, hum it, pay it in 4. Download the PayPal app to get started. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payin4. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
I think you're downgrading AJ because you've seen him and you look at him and you see the faults. And the reality is, of the three players that you keep mentioning, he had the least amount of talent on the team, and he had the most pressure because he went to a school that is not a blue blood and is expected to not go very far. And he felt the weight of all that because it was a different decision. And when he gets to the NBA and he's playing with better players, he'll be better and his shooting percentage will be better in the manner that Yegor Dielman couldn't make a three for his life at BYU and then went to the NBA and got a lot better.
I don't think that's why, but it's a good argument. It was it was very well done. I don't think any of that is actually particularly true, but I was impressed by the filigree. If that, I don't think I'm downgrading AJ at all. Actually, like, I think they're all great. Like, if we end up with AJ Dybantsa, it's amazing. I think you're gonna have to figure out how you're using him, and he's gonna want the ball in his hands a lot. And it's very clear, and that's how he wants to play and when he needs. And he kind of has to have the ball in his hands because he doesn't shoot it particularly well. And so he doesn't have great spacing. And when he doesn't have if you don't shoot it very well and you don't space the floor yet, then you have to have the ball in your hand. And then defensively, he was terrible. But that's fine. Most guys.
But you love him.
I think they're like, I really, truly think, like, I've said this about AJ the whole time. Like, his downside to me is that he's R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam, or Paulo Banchero. So he's going to score 20 points a game and be an all-star. Like, now, most of those players got traded, one of them, Paula will get traded, I think, eventually, because you got to max them out. They're hard to play with, and they're tough. So, I do think that's the assumption there is he's credible athlete, great ball skills, plays well in transition, creates offense for himself, never becomes a good shooter. Like, that's his downside. That's the old, and I guess in the case of Randall and RJ Barrett, plays defense sparingly. But it's an incredible NBA body that can't miss. It's kind of the same thing I feel about Cameron Boozer. Like, I think Cameron Boozer's downside is he can average 17 points and 10 rebounds a game. Maybe more, because I really think he has the ball. Like, with Boozer's size, the instinct is to go to Alfred Şengün or Dybantsa Sabonis as your comp. And I just think he's different than those guys. Like, I think he's a ball handler. I really think Cameron Boozer is a ball handler. You're not seeing Dybantsa Sabonis. You're seeing him play, like, with the ball in his hands, and you're seeing Şengün, but you're not seeing maybe Şengün a little bit. Like, they're bringing the ball up the floor, and they're initiating the offense. I think Cameron Boozer's, like, literally playing offensive point guard. If he's playing 60 possessions a night, I think he's playing offensive point guard for 35 of them. How about a lineup of Boozer, Bailey, Markkanen, Jackson, and Kessler? We're the biggest team in the history of mankind.
Do you think the Wizards are falling in love with Peterson?
Yeah. I've said this the whole time. I think we'll decide between AJ, Dybantsa, and Cameron Boozer. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, too, right? Like, let's just be perfectly honest. I'm making this crap up in my head. My head's not a place anybody wants to be.
We both believe that.
So, yeah, you've known me for 30 years. You know this to be true. But, like, so I watched Darryn Peterson. Like, let's just go back to where we started this conversation. Like, Darryn Peterson assimilates perfectly into every roster. Like, his prototype is the easiest thing to build around. He can play on the ball, off the ball, primary side, initiator, secondary side. He's 6'6". He can play 1. He can play 2. He can play 3. He can, like, the only thing is if he got, like, a big 4, backed him down, it's probably not perfect, right? But he's really, like, otherwise, like, this is just, like, it's fabulous. He can shoot it. He can do it all. If he medically tests out, I think he has to go 1. Like, I just can't, like, maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe AJ's better than I'm giving him credit for. But AJ, right now, at least, has to have the ball in his hands. If he's a weak side, if he's on the weak side, you're dropping off of him. You're giving him space. He's playing, he's not a good enough shooter right now that he makes you space out to him. And so you really have to put the ball in his hands and have him play offense. And that's fine because he's really good at it. But it's not, you're now building, until he shoots, you have to build your roster around him as your 6'9" primary ball handler. And we've kind of seen how hard that is, right? New York wasn't very good offensively around Julius Randle. New York traded RJ Barrett because they had to do it. Orlando's having a hard time doing it around Paulo Banchero right now. That's hard to do. And then if you have Cameron Boozer, I think you have to figure out how you're going to deal with him defensively because he's not going to move great. So he's really not a 5. He's kind of your 4, but he's actually kind of your 1. Like, it's a pretty unique little combo there. So I just, when it gets right down to it, if I'm Washington and I'm trying to figure out how I'm building my roster and when I'm doing these pieces, I just can't imagine you're not taking Darryn Peterson 1 if he tests out. Am I crazy?
No, I think he's the most skilled player in the draft.
Right, so then I think we're choosing between Cameron Boozer and AJ Dybantsa. And I think that is to the point we just had about they're both amazing, but they're both really they're not the easiest things to build around. I think this gets pretty incredible.
Last thing before we let you go. You've seen one game in the NBA Finals. You think you know what's going to happen now, or are you still wondering?
So my take coming in was that San Antonio's the better team, but they're tired. New York's going to win 2 of the first 3, but out of fatigue. And then the question is whether San Antonio can has enough juice to win 3 of the final 4. New York's really good. The only thing watching game 1 was I'm not as convinced. Like, I started marking up player by player, and New York's better. That, like, if you just kind of look like, would you rather have Mikal Bridges or Keldon Johnson? You'd rather have Mikal Bridges. Would you rather have OG Anunoby or Jalen Brunson or De'Aaron Fox? I'd rather have Jalen Brunson. Would you rather have OG Anunoby or Stephen Castle? I'd probably rather have OG Anunoby. Would I rather have Karl Anthony Towns or Victor? I'd rather have Victor. But, like, wow, Karl Anthony Towns is really good. And so really the reason San Antonio's better is because of Victor. Like, the one and only reason they're better just because Victor's that damn good.
All right, we'll leave it right there with David Locke for now. David, we appreciate it as always. Thanks for joining us.
You guys are great. See you later.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Good things come in 4s. Like ukulele strings. Boy band members. And PayPal Pay in 4. No fees, no interest, no impact on your credit score. Just the flexibility to pay the way that works for you. Strum it, hum it, pay it in 4. Download the PayPal app to get started. Subject to approval. Learn more at paypal.com/payin4. PayPal Inc. NMLS 910457.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.